Hello, hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. It's finally time. It's finally time. The Premier League is back. Manchester United are back. 15 minutes till lineups, and then the match is here. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited for the game today. I hope you are as well. We're having no negativity in this stream this morning. Absolutely zero. I'm going to mute you. No negativity. Nothing but positivity. Nothing but United winning today. Nothing but that. Do have some stuff I want to talk about in the lead up to the game, obviously, as well. But all positivities. We are winning today. We are winning today. We are winning this game against Arsenal. We are back. The Premier League is back. We're back. We're ready to go. Tell me again. I feel nothing but good. Yeah. I feel nothing but good. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. You say crunchy mic again. It's crazy. I literally recorded a full 2 minutes this morning and listened to it just before I went live. Zero problems. Is it YouTube? Is it like compressing my microphone in a terrible way, or is it just like the volume? Maybe if I stay back a little bit further from this microphone or something, we'll see if it improves. Because I literally recorded 2 minutes at normal speaking voice, no crunch, no crackles, no problems. I redid all the chords, I redid everything. Anyway, I'll switch it out if needed, but it's maybe I'm just getting too close and I need to turn the gain down. And maybe that's what it is. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe it's just when I speak too loud, or maybe it's YouTube. I don't know. Stay back a little bit. Yeah, maybe. It says it's in a good range, but we'll see. Either way, I don't think it's too bad right now. I don't think it's too bad at the moment. There's static. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Can't explain it. I recorded a whole video. I recorded, and nothing. There was nothing in it. So for some reason, it's between when we start and to YouTube. Maybe it's somebody doesn't like me. But it's cool. I'll swap it really quick, just because I don't want to have to think about it. I don't want to have to think about it, so we'll just swap to the other microphone. I don't want to have to worry about it. I'll have to figure it out, but we swap to the other microphone and it'll be fine. It takes like 2 seconds for me to swap. I'm swapped. We swapped. We've hot swapped. It's done. It's done. It's over. So that microphone, something's wrong with it. That's all there is to it. I'll have to check that out. To send it back. I send it back. Anyway, yeah, this one's fine. So something's just wrong with the other microphone. Don't know why. Anyway, so look, lineup out soon. We're 10 minutes away. Avram Glazer is there. Yes, he flew in from New York last night. But we're going to win today. 2-1 victory. 21 is coming. Bayindir in net. That's interesting. So Ruben with a little bit of lying, as you know, managers, they love to lie, don't they? They love to lie. 3-0 halftime.
I'm just hoping and praying Casemiro doesn't start.
He's going to start. And you know what? It's happening again. No way. All right, so it's not the microphone. I'm telling you. All right, we're just going to have to get maybe it's like Okay, we replugged everything in. We might need to just swap out like a bunch of cables. I have no clue which one is even doing it. Elliot Anderson. Yeah, Elliot Anderson's a good player. He's a good player for sure. He's a good player for sure. Seems like a connection crackle. Is it true Cunha's not fit to start? Who said Cunha's not fit to start? Who said Cunha's not fit to start? Wasn't it Bruno and Casemiro in midfield against Villa? Yeah, I mean, but that was like the end of the season, and that was like, I don't know. That's one game. They also lost the Europa final against Tottenham, and Villa were basically not pressing at all. If you recall, like that's the main thing there. Villa were not pressing at all. You can play Casemiro in games where the other team's not going to press, where the other team's going to sit deep, and you're just looking to unlock the defense. But don't forget, even in that game, while we call it, you might call it the best performance of the season, I don't call it the best performance of the season. Emi Martinez got a red card. We should have conceded to a faulty call that was going for when the ball was in Bayindir's hands and they scored. We should have been down 1-0 in that game. Yeah, let's turn that volume down. Make sure that there's nothing else. Good call, Matt. Thanks for that. I don't want to hear the Premier League in the background. I forgot about that. Yeah. Look, but the lineup would be out in like 9 minutes. So we'll talk about a couple transfer things at the moment to start. Yesterday and the previous day, you've heard me talking about center backs. You've heard me saying that I could see us moving for a center back. Couple of things. Number one, the budget that we had set aside for Carlos Baleba
I watched
is
yesterday live. Hamza said he's better than Kuna and Mbeumo. OMG. Mute him for a week. PLS James. Smiley face emoji. Smack the like eyes. Flexed biceps emoji. United 2-0. Cool face emoji.
Yes. So, yeah, I replugged in all the wires and stuff as well, so I might have something wrong with them, with one of the cords or dust or something in it anyway. So it should be better now. So I'll figure it out later. I'll do a bunch of tests. I'll do a whole bunch of shit. Anyway, guys, yeah, the budget for Baleba, as I was saying yesterday, the budget for Baleba was not like money we could just spend this summer. We're saving it for next summer because we were essentially saying if we buy Baleba now, we probably won't even, we'll spend like no money next summer. Like, just realize what we were prepared to do. We were prepared to buy Baleba now and then maybe get like one or two players next summer, right? That was the plan. Cut the budget next summer, bring it forward now. With Baleba being a next summer target, that money goes back to next summer. We don't just have another 100 million to spend this summer and another 100 million to spend next summer on Baleba. We'll have some money next summer, but it's not going to, like, we need that Baleba money earmarked for Baleba next year. So that was my point on this, and just the way that it was working and the way that it's set up. You know, that was essentially the point. So they want the guy in Baleba that they feel will win a title. We were never intending to spend big on the midfield this summer. It was simply viewed as an opportunity worth checking out to say, hey, can we get our top choice midfielder a year early? That was the point. That was why it was brought up. That was why it was discussed. That was why it was an option. So Let's see. Sorry, just got distracted by something. Sorry, the lineup's gonna be out in a minute, and sorry, no, there's people. Everybody's gonna be positive, okay? Oh man. Anyway. Sorry, I got distracted. Point was, yes, we were thinking about a midfielder, but we were also thinking about a keeper. We were also thinking about a center back. The main thing that we were supposed to be going for was forwards. That's what we were wanting, forwards, this window. One sec, guys. I'm sorry. So yeah, anyway, sorry, I got distracted. I got distracted. We're going to talk about the team. Let's wait a minute. The team is coming. I'm not going to be able to focus my thoughts while we're waiting for the team news essentially to come in here in a second. There's potentially things decided that you're not going to understand the reasons for. That you're gonna think are bad, but it's not. It's just you're not. People are gonna come up with the reasons for believing things. You know what I mean? That are maybe not why those decisions have been made, and I'm not sure if it'll come out if it'll come out or not. Like, it's the first game of the season. There are fitness issues. There are other issues that are reasons why some decisions get made. Like, let's say for example, Sheshko doesn't start. Well, if Sheshko doesn't start, it's simply just because he's not ready, and he'll be starting by next week. But still, I would hope that he starts. But there's other things potentially made. There's other things too. We'll see in a minute. Hey, I'm still going to be very, very happy. That's the thing. We're still going to win. That's the important part. We're still going to win. And we're going to enjoy it. And we're going to be happy. Because United are back. And it's the first game of the season. And that's how it works. Oh, it's so funny. I'm just 1 minute till lineups. Let's just get to the lineups, and then we'll talk about anything else we want to talk about. Let's just get to the lineups, and we'll talk about the rest, okay? Because we need lineups. We need to discuss all of these things first, and then we can figure the rest out. And then we'll talk about everything else. 1 minute till our first lineup of the season. The first lineup of the season. Come on. Let's see it. Come on. The first lineup of the season. There it is. Do you see it? Sesko on the bench. Correct. Šeško on the bench. Gyökeres starts for Arsenal. Gyökeres starts for Arsenal. Šeško is on the bench today. Šeško is on the bench today. Casemiro starts in the midfield. Here's your lineup. Here's your lineup for today's match. Wait, did I get it all right? Hold on. Did I miss one person? No, yeah, that's. No, it's Delict. Excuse me. I have Maguire. I meant to put Delict in there. Otherwise, yeah, Shaw. Okay, cool. I was looking for Shaw. So it's Delict instead of, yeah, it's we'll see. We'll see. No Maguire. Casemiro in the midfield. Dallo out wide. It's unfortunately still like the three big mistakes that I hope don't hurt us. But the reason that it's been selected is because of other reasons. I mean, this one, these, oops, not that one. These to me, I'm just not on board with. This is not for the reason that you think. This is not for the reason that you think. It's not why he hasn't. I'm not gonna get into it, but I know why Dallo's been picked over there, and it's not for the reason that you think. So, yeah. He didn't actually have a choice. Like, just say this: it's the first game of the season. There are fitness issues. There are other things that come up. That happened. It's. He's on the bench. Ahmad is on the bench, but I think he would have started if he could have started. Let's say, I don't know. It's not mine. It's not mine to say. It's not mine to say. I think Ahmad will start next week. I think Ahmad will start next week. I think Ahmad will start next week. I think Ahmad and Šeško will both be starting next week. And that'll be better. But yeah. Not discipline issues. So it has nothing to do with discipline. It's not like it has nothing to do with discipline. There's no disciplinary issues. But the bench is damn strong. I mean, let's look at that, right? Like, we've got on the bench, you have Heaven. Oh, wait. Who's missing? Is someone missing from the bench? Oh, Diego Leon is missing from the bench. I just realized that Diego Leon didn't make the bench. Fredrickson made the bench. Fredrickson is on the bench, not Diego Leon. Okay. Interesting. That's who I was thinking of. No, it's not. It's fine. It's fine. We'll be making, that's fine. We'll be making changes. Obviously, it means you can make a bunch of subs and things like that. I think we're gonna struggle without a striker, but if he's not ready to start for us, then he's not ready to start for us. It is what it is. You know, unfortunately, that I can understand. The fact of Šeško not starting, I can understand, because that's purely down to, time with the team and fitness and all that. That's fine. There's no other reason for it. I think Emram's making mistakes here, just like he made in the final. I think he's made those mistakes. But we do have a lot of subs to bring on. Xerxes, Ahmad, Ugarte and Mainu and Maguire can come on. Obviously, Heaven too. We do have a lot of subs. It certainly it feels hard. It feels hard. Like I said, I the biggest question for me is this: why is he picking Casemiro with Bruno constantly? It's just not good. But we'll see. I hope it works. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's the one decision I wouldn't go with under any circumstances is that choice. I think it's proven time and time again it just cannot work. I mean, a Casemiro against and here's the thing, right? When you take Arsenal's lineup, what scares me, is if De Ligt doesn't step up into the midfield to support the team, have Gyökeres and all of them are going to just run him ragged out here. Gonna run him ragged. But look, it's a big season. Amram's the manager. Let's see if he gets it right. We can't have a bad game though. The problem here is that if we have a bad game, it's on him because he's making sort of poor, because he's making some poor decisions, I think. Like there's questionable decisions in there, which were unfortunately expected. So if they don't work, then unfortunately he'll be facing the criticism of that. Like the Casemiro one mainly because he's leaving next year. He's not a part of your team. He's not fit. He's not fast. He doesn't have pace. He's gotten steamrolled in every big game over last year. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. But at the same time, we've added a lot of quality in the attack. Yeah, it doesn't fill me with confidence, though. It doesn't fill me with confidence, though. So I guess we'll see. I have plenty of respect for Casemiro. He's just not good enough anymore. Like at all. Or fast enough or quick enough or any of that. But he's selected through the entire preseason. He always picks Casemiro and Bruno together. So it's nothing to do with like performances in the preseason. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's purely down to, for whatever reason, he's always picked those partnerships for whatever the dynamics that he likes there. And he always picks the other two together. But yeah, well, I guess we'll see, man. We will see. No, it's not like that. I mean, I don't know. It's he has better choices statistically. He has better choices statistically for it to choose in these areas, like just factually better choices.
Now you know why lots of PPA don't like the manager. No Sesko, no Ahmad with a Casemiro. Absolute joke.
Well, I can't blame him for two of those things.
Valor?
Again, about the only
How?
thing that I can say personally myself is the Casemiro part of it. But it seems like we want to play a bit defensive and run it in. But yeah, it is concerning. I'm not blaming him for Šeško and Dalo or anything like that, but I would have gone with Kabi. Like, if you were not getting Šeško today, then he should have gone Ugarte Menu and put Bruno in the front. And again, like when I look at those games, I think Maguire is still just not fully fit, and that's the biggest issue. He does value fitness pretty much over everything, which people will have to understand about Amorim as well. I think he made that clear last season. If the player is not 100%, he will tend to always pick players that are 100% over them. So if Šeško is not 100%, he's not going to pick Šeško until he's 100%. He's made that decision time and time again. That tends to be the case. Xerxes not being 100% is all of that. So if they're at 100%, then they're at 100%. No, Casemiro is 100% fit. He may not be like fast enough anymore, but he's not at 100%. But he is 100% fit. That's the truth of it. So we'll see. He's made his decisions. He's the manager. He's had a full preseason to see how this goes, to line it up, to pick things up, and that'll be that. Hopefully we win. But no, look, obviously I have my own opinions, but I'm not doing the thing that people are doing in here, like that they know better, that they're the best manager, that they're sack the manager because you didn't like his lineup on opening day. Come on now. That's crazy. I don't do those kinds of things. I'm not going to do those. I will always share my opinions, but I'm not going to be talking about anything to do with the manager on day one. We have to win games at the end of the day. That's all that matters. I'm not going into the season with any bias towards any particular player or bias against any particular player. Everybody in team to me, gets a fresh start. Every single player in the team gets a fresh start with me. I'm okay with Dalo. Why not?
Thank you for bonding the team.
Welcome to the Pro Muppet Walk and Wander. Emram, thank you for bonding the team, but yeah, he won't last here. Maybe I'm overacting, but I draw the line at Shaw. See, but I don't agree because I think Shaw's made... again, it's like, let's just see what happens. What if we win? Then you're all wrong for panicking about it. You know? What if we win? You're all wrong if we win. And then you've just been a dick for no reason. So, like, again, share your opinion. Just give your opinion. It's totally fine. Give your opinion. Have an opinion. I have an opinion. But that doesn't make me right, in my opinion. It's just an opinion. If we win, if we perform well, then the manager was right. So we'll see what happens. It's all about the results. It's all about the results. Yeah, I mean, we have played Arsenal with the worst lineups and come out on top. We played Arsenal at home last year, drew 1-1. We should have won, and I'll show you. Hold on. At the end of the day, the manager's job is to win. Let me show you what drew 1-1 at Arsenal last year in March. Let's see it. You ready for this unbelievable lineup? It was De Ligt, Lindelof, Lenny Yoro, Bruno and Casemiro, Dallo and Mazraoui, Garnacho, Eriksen, and Xerxes. And we were 1-1 at home, and we should have won that game. So, calm yourself, okay, a little bit. Calm yourself a little bit, all right? And just recognize it's the manager's job to set up a team or win games. It's the manager's job to set up the team and win games, and that's what we have to see. You know? No, this wasn't a cup game. This was not the cup game. This was a game at Old Trafford. Arsenal's front three was much worse. What do you call ours? Garnacho and Eriksen to Cunha and Mbeumo? Come on now. Garnacho and Eriksen to Cunha and Mbeumo? So we have a better front three. They have a better front three. I think their midfield's worse because I think Partey to Zubamendi's a downgrade. You do realize we played Eriksen, Garnacho, and Xerxes. For you negativity merchants who are talking about how they didn't have all their attackers. Neither did we. We also didn't have Dorgu on the left. We had Dallo on the left. We also had Victor Lindelof in the team. Do you understand that? Like, the lineup today is significantly better than that lineup we fielded on that day. Casemiro good in the air for both boxes versus Manu and Ugarte. Reason why Ahmad and Bruno not expecting the same side. From the bench now. And that might be true too. Casemiro is better in the air, defending set pieces, scoring on set pieces, all of that. That might help. But realize, like, this is a crazy lineup that we played that day compared to what we have today. I think ours improved compared to theirs quite a lot. Not to say it's better, because it's still got flaws, but we've improved these two positions dramatically, improved here by it being Dallo and not Mazraoui, and improved in the middle. So it's a better lineup than we had last time we played. Yeah, that's correct. I'm not positive. I have my own opinions. I have worry over that lineup. The only difference between me and some of you is I'm willing to be wrong. That's all. That's it. And I hope that I am. And I hope that I am. And I want to be. And I want that the people running the club, the manager, the players and such, prove me wrong. I want that. And that's what I'm going to back, and that's what I'm going to support. Maguire has a fitness issue where he can only play like 45 to 60 minutes or something like that. I have my own opinions, but unlike this current new breed of online fans who all think that they know better and almost want the club to fail when it's not the decisions they like, just so that they can be proven right, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to back the team and the coach and all of them to win. At the end of the day, that's the job. Win football games. Because what are you going to do? What was the point if we get into this at the end of the day and we win? What are you going to do? Are you going to accept that all your opinions were wrong? No, you're not. You're going to sit there and dig in even further about things and have the same kind of panic. So why not just accept that it's the future? It hasn't happened yet. What you're worried about hasn't happened yet. What you're stressing about hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened. It hasn't happened. So when it happens, or if it happens, then you can say what you want to say about it. It hasn't happened yet. Reality is not claiming the future is something you already know, because you don't. You definitely don't. You definitely don't. What would you change? What would I change? I would put Ugarte in, and I would play Maguire. But if they're not, if Maguire and Ahmad, but if there's fitness reasons for those selections, then I get it. So it is what it is. Like in the real world, I would want Šeško, I would want Ahmad, I would want Ugarte, and I would want Maguire. It's 4 different players that I would prefer starting in our best 11. 4 different ones. That's my opinion. Okay? We might win with it. We might draw. Even if we draw, as long as we perform decently well, it's a good result against a team that is significantly further ahead of us in the team. You know? Imagine these fans from 04 to 06 when Fergie played Jumba Jumba and Bellion, kicked out Keane over unfulfilled potential in CR7 and Fletcher.
Bellion. Kicked out Keane over unfulfilled potential in CR7 and Fletcher.
Those are just my opinions. No, I would have picked Luke Shaw. I'm backing Luke Shaw. I don't care at keeper. It could be Bayindir, it could be Onana, it could be whoever, you know. I don't care. It's like, well, I just want to see the result. If we win games, then Ruben Amorim is right. You understand that? If we win games, then Ruben Amorim is right. If we lose games, then Ruben Amorim is wrong. But we'll see what happens. This is why I'd 100% sign anyone in midfield. We didn't finish 15th in 2004. Well, we did finish 13th in Sir Alex's first couple seasons, I believe. So, yeah. I think the really interesting part is what is the interesting part? I forgot what I was going to say. It has nothing to do with that. It's just I said this over summer, and I maintain it yesterday, and I said it before, and this is how I feel about it. Okay. Every player that is there right now, every player that is there today is there because the club and the manager want them to be there. Well, that's true too, Samix. Now, don't get me wrong, Samix. If we lose, it doesn't mean if we made that one different decision, we would have won. But what it does mean is that when you make decisions that obviously fans and such question, right? When you make decisions that are viewed as questionable, that are viewed as doubtful, that are viewed as concerning, that are viewed as like maybe wrong, you know what I mean? If you make those decisions, you open yourself up to criticism. It doesn't even mean the criticism is right. Like I could sit here and say, those are the 4 changes I would make. We could lose, and I could sit there and say, if we made those 4 changes, we would win. Not true. We don't know. That's not the case. We don't know that that's the case. We don't know that that's true at all. But when you don't win, you open the door to negativity. You open the door to people questioning your decisions. If you can't be successful, you open the door to questioning, because at the end of the day, you just have to be successful, right? That's the answer. If you win, you're right. And if you lose, you're wrong. So if you're wrong, then people are always going to suggest alternative decisions. Doesn't mean those things are right either. It just means, you know, you have to win. It just means that you didn't get it right, you know, one way or another. So At the same time, the way that I approached this whole summer, regardless of what player, was that every single player that was in this team, for me, that Ruben has kept and that the club has kept and that is in the squad today, has a clean slate. Every single one has a clean slate. That's how I see it. Every single player, I'm giving a clean slate. You don't have to. You don't have to do that. You don't have to agree with me, but that's where I'm at. It's like, yeah, Mitch, it's kind of like there's confirmation bias. We all are natural to it. Like if a player doesn't, if something doesn't work, it's easy to point and say, well, I knew it wouldn't work because of X. And that's, you might be right. You might not be, but it's easy to say it at that point in time. Mrs. in labor are in
Shook. Any advice, KG?
What? What? Are you on the wrong channel? Okay, this isn't KG's channel. But anyway, good luck to you and the missus, and congratulations. Just be kind. Lots of love for your kid. That's all that matters. That's funny. That cracks me up. You've been the wrong channel? I mean, I'm happy to answer. I've got a kid too, so just lots of love for your wife, lots of love for your kid, and all of that, Look, here's the thing, right? I look at it and I look at things just a different way. I look at things a different way. It's a new season. It's a new start. I expect that players will have to try and improve. When will Amram try to go toe-to-toe with a big team, always defending first? Why do you think that that's the case, though, Luciano? Like, honestly, why do you think that that's the case? I don't think it's that negative. I mean, look, let's look at the number of attackers versus the defenders, and then I will talk about a couple pieces of news, by the way, because I forgot about that. Let's look at the number of attackers versus defenders. What's wrong with this? It's the same number of forwards as a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3 or whatever. Because Bruno's in the midfield. Why is it viewed as defensive? Why is it only viewed as defensive? No, it's not. Look. Why is this why is this viewed as defensive if it's a back three, but not if this was a 4-2-3-1, you wouldn't be saying it's defensive. The only thing it lacks is a striker. I mean, let's just look at it this way. Like, why is this defensive, but Arsenal playing Zubamendi and Rice in the midfield is not? They don't have more attackers. This is just a 4-2-3-1. There's no difference between this and a 4-2-3-1. Like, there's no difference. But look at what you're seeing on the screen. If you put it into a back four, it's not more defensive. It's the same. How is it going to attack? Is the same as every other team. It's going to attack and hold on. It looks more defensive on the eye. So when you're defending, you defend with more players, and when you attack with more players. I was just shifting it to calling it a back five is silly, because then what you're saying is you have one more player in your back line, but one more attacker in your midfield because you're putting Bruno there. You see the point? Like, you're just being negative for the sake of it when you make those kinds of, if you make those kinds of claims. Like, this is no different to how any team would attack. Their fullbacks get up the pitch. They have 4 attackers on the pitch. They have 1 midfield, and you play with a 3-1-6. There's literally no difference between this and any other modern system. None. Literally none. In fact, if you go with Ahmad in here, you've actually got more forwards on the pitch than most teams do. So it's really no different. This is a 3-1-6 in attack. If you go with Ahmad, you actually have too many attackers. So, like, that's one thing I can't agree on, especially since we got Dorgu. Before we had Dorgu, I felt it was defensive because Dowlow and Mazraoui are too defensive. Dorgu is incredibly aggressive as an attacker. I don't care if we have a flat back 5. I don't care if we have a flat back 5. I don't care if we have a flat back 5 because we have an extra attacker in the midfield. There's no difference. You're moving a 10 deep. There's no difference. There's genuinely no difference in terms of the number of personnel. There's no difference. Because if you were playing a back 4, you'd go with 2 defensive midfielders. That's how a 4-2-3-1 works. You know, you'd be going with Casemiro and Ugarte or something like that, like we did last year. You know, this is less defensive than we played last season because we've moved Bruno deep. So the adjustment is to move one more attacker deep. That's the difference. We cannot have Dalot marking the back post. That has to be Euro. Dalot cost us a goal. Well, I mean, that's hopefully one of the advantages of having a back 3, right? Is that your wide center backs can be the guys marking the back post, and your wing backs can be, you know, don't have to necessarily do quite as much in the job. Like, just realize that this is the same. Like, you wouldn't call this defensive. You'd call this a normal formation. There's no difference. It's the same thing. It's a back 5 or it's a 4-2-3-1. It really doesn't make any difference. And in fact, in many phases, it's supposed to look more like a 4-2-3-1. So it's actually supposed to look almost like a 4-2-2 at times, with the wing backs going up and down. But it's really no difference. The biggest thing to me is this, will we be able to follow Gyökeres around? Does De Ligt step up? Because if he plays like he played against Everton, we're going to lose. If he has to constantly drop deep, and doesn't hold the offside line, then we'll lose. If he lets Gyökeres run around in these spaces freely, then we'll lose. That can't happen. That's a big thing that has to happen. And the second thing is, I think what we'll see is Mbeumo being the outlet ball while Mount is on the pitch. And we'll be sending Mbeumo into the channel on that side. So we have to be brave with the passing from Lenny. And if they go man-to-man, we have to be hitting those switches. Those are the things I'm going to look for. Ruben was saying his formation can become a 4-3-3 at times. Yeah, and it is. Like I say, people get way too focused on it because in a lot of instances in possession, it's going to look like this. Very often. The center back steps up, Bruno steps higher, the front 3 go together, and the fullbacks move. It becomes essentially a 4-3-3 at many different points in time. It's not that different, but the De Ligt has to be good at that offside line. That offside line has to hold. We can't drop too quickly or Arsenal will flood us, and we can't do that. We just can't do that. And Mbeumo will be the outlet ball, so hopefully he's fast today because he's been an outlet ball. Remember, Mbeumo made the second most runs behind in the Premier League last season.
If I told you in May we'd start Mount, Case, Delict, Dalot, Shaw and
told you we'd
Baindier
start
week 1
Mount,
versus Arsenal,
Cass,
you would have been
Delict,
furious
Dalot,
and say
Shaw,
we
and
got no
Baindier, week 1
chance.
versus Arsenal. You've been furious and say we've got no chance. If you told me that in May, sure. But it's not May. I've changed my mind. Something you're all capable of doing. It's one of the only things you're capable of doing. Because if you asked me 2 years ago and said we were starting Mount, Casemiro, Delict, Dalot, and Shaw, I would have been really happy. Because 2 years ago, I really liked a lot of those players. And then at 60 minutes, then what are we going to do? We're going to sub on Šeško. Boom. We're going to sub on Ahmad. Boom. And then we'll make some other sub here. Maybe in the midfield to add to the attack. And then hopefully we can take it from there. And by next week, ideally it looks a little more like this. And that'll be great. And in May, we didn't have Cunha and Mbeumo. Yeah, absolutely true. We had Garnacho and Eriksen who would have been starting or something like that. So I would have felt quite a bit different about the team. Yeah, let's see what happens. Anyway, let's see what happens. Anyway, on to a couple of pieces of news that I did want to speak about. Again, budget for Baleba being held for next summer. That's one of the things. Rasmus Hojlund obviously dropped out of the team and being given the clear signal, no longer a part of the squad, no longer going to get minutes in here, not even on the bench over Fredrickson or Diego Leon. That's obviously meaningful to get him to move on. We need sales to raise money. We need sales in order to do other purchases. I'm not convinced that we will buy a midfielder this year, to be quite honest. I'm not convinced that we want to buy a midfielder this summer at this point, after not getting Baleba. I wasn't convinced at the start of summer, and then we went and bought 3 forwards. After that, the Baleba thing came up as like this special kind of opportunity. And then very clearly after that, he was a special opportunity. He was a special player to look at and say, hey, this is a player that we think could be in the title-winning team. If we can get him now, we'll get him. I don't think we're going to panic and buy like a non-optimal player. The only player that's left that on our list from earlier that hasn't been ruled out fully is probably Ederson. And I think about Ederson because Ederson has the flexibility, the potential flexibility in a similar way to Baleba, that he could play in different positions. So if you buy Ederson, he doesn't mess, like you could play Ederson and Baleba next season really well. You could probably play Ederson with Bruno this year. There's a lot of things that you could do with someone like Ederson, who was a top target for a long time. Yeomend and Wharton have essentially been mostly ruled out. I think Wharton is unobtainable from Palace. That's been the position from everything I've heard. I think he'll be as difficult, especially with Eze very likely go to Tottenham. There's no way they're going to sell Wharton now. Yeomend is going to be like 80 million plus euros, way more than he's valued at as a type of player. Ederson is about the only one left on our original kind of list of potential top midfielders who's still available, potentially, I suppose. Oof. Chelsea skying chances left and right. Anyway, hopefully they pay up for Garnacho after this 0-0 draw here at Palace, I hope. So, yeah, I think that's unlikely. Now, I said the other day, I think that I feel that the Casemiro bet, which Casemiro bet, by the way? Give me that again. Ederson is an interesting player. Ederson is an interesting player for me. But what was I going to say? The center back thing I've been talking about the last few days. That, you know, they could go for a center back. They were interested in the one that Liverpool got. We've been kind of following the Liverpool. We've been following center backs for quite a while, and I'm just trying to see this Chelsea game. Good save, Henderson. We've been following center backs for a bit, and now today we have links to Nathan Collins. Nathan Collins was suggested ages ago by Darren Fletcher, and people were like, "Oh, jobs for the boys, Irish friends. Why do we want to get someone from Stoke? Can't believe it." Nathan Collins would be a great center back to bring in from Brentford. Now, will we be able to get him? I don't know. Would Brentford sell him at this point? I don't know, but I think Brentford are going to get relegated. I had them in my relegation. But Brentford Nathan Collins is a good center back. Nathan Collins is a good player. I think he would be perfect to add to this team. He's exactly what I would be looking for to add to this team as a type of center back that maybe doesn't break the bank. Obviously, him and Gahey are two that I would consider. So we'll see if we make a move there. Onana being left out is, obviously not. Onana being left out is a fitness thing, but at the same time, it's like we really might need a keeper.
Not buying a CM shows.
Yeah, good point, Matt G. Not buying a CM shows Baleba our belief in him. He's our one and only, like Liverpool and Van Dijk, and that's a good point too, right? Like not buying somebody over him. It's like you're the guy. I know Fletcher is Scottish. I'm saying like. Again, that's what's funny about the whole thing. But I remember when the rumors came out in the beginning, it was like something about Fletcher and links, and it's funny. They're not even the same nationality. But I remember when that happened, it was like, why would we listen to Darren Fletcher? I'm saying jobs for the boys, like that we're listening to Darren Fletcher because he's an ex-player, not because he's Scottish and not because they're the same nationality. I'm saying that there was this whole like, there's always been whining about Darren Fletcher at United since he's been there and in the job. There's been these huge complaints about Darren Fletcher, except Darren Fletcher's a really, really, really smart guy, and you only have to listen to Sir Alex talk about him, to know just how smart Fletcher is. And he suggested him a while ago, and I wish he would have been a good player to sign. But yeah, I'd be curious if we buy a center back. I would be curious if we buy a center back, and I'd be curious if we end up moving now for a goalkeeper. The decision hasn't been made though, and it won't be made yet. We need some sales. We need some money. We have our budget for Baleba next year. I think that we could get a midfielder. And we could get a midfielder still. I think about Ederson. Maybe there's other names that will come up, but they're not going to be people who will like eliminate, Baleba from the conversation. Like we're not going to get another Baleba. We'll probably just get somebody that maybe we could partner with Baleba. And then next year, I would expect, obviously, Casemiro leaves, maybe somebody else. But yeah, it's up in the air. There you go. Chelsea and Palace draw 0-0. So again, after all that slurping of Chelsea, that they're so good, they're so incredible, title favorites, they've gotten so good, all that money spent, all of that from Chelsea, oh my God, look what they've done spending so much money. They start opening day with a 0-0 to Crystal Palace. They can't even score a goal. And Palace had one chalked off on a free kick. So all of that, the narratives, that's why it's like, let's just wait and see what happens in the results before crowning people and determining things. Because so far, almost all my predictions about this season have come through. Almost all my predictions so far about this season have lined up with week 1. City, they're going to walk the league. I think Liverpool are going to have some weaknesses, but are going to be strong. Chelsea are going to be mid still. Chelsea are still going to be in that 4th to 6th place. Tottenham are going to be in that 4th to 6th place. Palace are a top team. How are Palace a top team? They finished 12th last season. And they're not getting any better. They're not a top team. They're a good team. They're a solid team. They're not a top team, So, it is what it is. Let's see where things go. You just never know. They need a Garnacho type, exactly. They need a Garnacho type. So let's see what happens. All right. Obviously, tomorrow I think we will hear more in terms of the decisions about Garnacho, about the decisions about Garnacho. We'll hear more about the decisions about Rasmus Hojlund, sales, and then we'll probably decide what we can do. Okay. Yeah, Chelsea should be beating Palace with the money to spend. 1.4 billion in transfers the last few years. Another 250 million, 300 million summer. Come on, give it a rest. Just goes to show, there's more to it than that. So I'm going to end it here. Link below to come join on Big Up. I'm going to get started over there about 10 minutes before the match. Come hang out in the watch along with me. It's a lot of fun. They're a blast. I've got a new setup here so I can watch the game on a TV behind. But yes, please do come watch with me. Please do come enjoy. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be happy. Afterwards, I'll be back on here to talk about the post-match. I'll bring people on if you want to share your thoughts at that time once we've actually seen the game and seen the result. And we'll see what happens, okay? So come back here afterwards if you are not joining on the watch along so you can come and share your thoughts and things like that as well, all right? I'll see you later. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the game. Hopefully United